I'd like to call this meeting of Timberville Town Council to order, May 12, 2022. Please stand and join in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome all our guests. Towards the end, after our public comment, we're going to have to go into closed session on one item. I think we are. We'll know when we get closer to it. And you're welcome to hang out outside and come back when we come back if you're so thrilled to do so. But that's up to you guys. So we're going to start through the agenda. We have approval of the minutes. We have a budget meeting we had on April 11th. And we have the regular council meeting on April 14th. I'm sure everyone's been able to read them, or any questions, amendments, changes, any of that sort of thing that need to be done. Okay, then I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Carl. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Debbie. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Ned?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, all in favor. Okay. You also received a copy of the treasurer's report. Anybody have any questions from Melinda about any items on our treasurer's report? Okay. Bills for payment. You have a list of bills for payment. And you'll notice on line 8, because I called about that one, water line, $41,000. We started to actually receiving some of the pipe. We're ordering for that bigger water project coming up whenever we're allowed to bid it, but or we'll get to the bidding phase, excuse me. But we advance ordered the parts. Our engineer company had given us the parts we need, so we're ordering in advance since we were told it'd be a 6-month wait. Is that what it was?
9 months.
9 months, and they got some in early, but so we've ordered them, knowing we're gonna have to wait 9 months to get pipe in. So that's what that one big item is. Anyone have any questions about anything else? And I need to entertain a motion. I will entertain a motion, please.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Clarence. Have a second.
Second.
Thank you, Sharon. Any further discussion? Ned?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Police report, Chief.
I sent out an email a couple days ago with some monthly stats, things like that. That was different. I assume everybody got that. I got emails back from a couple people. So hopefully that seems like I'll try to do that monthly if that's a good thing. Do y'all like getting that information?
Yes.
Like seeing that? So
Yeah, I like
I'll try to continue to do that. Is that good for you, Don?
Yes, yes, I
Okay.
like
So I'll try to continue to do that monthly, provide those specific stats and any notes that the council at large needs. And then we can always discuss other things in depth with the police committee. As far as public comments, it's nice post-COVID to be back to doing some normal things with the community. So we did the Triathlon morning with my friends, which has been an institution in Timberville for something like 40 years, preschool. And they've done the Triathlon to raise money every year for a long time. The lady that spearheads that is retiring, so unfortunately that program is retiring. But we got to do that this year. It's pretty cool. Hang out with the kids. We do it at Broadway on the track down there. That was fun. And it's just good to be back and doing some relaxed community things again. The annual report was complete. I got Clarence, I'll give you your copy when we're done. I think everybody else got their copy. And tried to highlight some of the things we did. We did some strange things during COVID and at the tail end, like doing community parades with first responders and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting to see that documented in an annual report where you have pictures of everybody has masks and then there's pictures of people without masks. So last year was kind of a weird transitional year, but we did a lot of stuff and really proud of what the officers did over the last year.
Awesome. Well, thanks for all you do, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Public Works, AC, you got your report, or your list, that is?
Sure. Let's start off with the ARPA project list and talk about that. Everybody should have a copy at their spot. So we had gone through at one point and initially came up with a list of projects that we were going to use the ARPA funds for. primarily water and sewer projects. And then once we found out about the relaxed reporting and use, or the broadened use of the funds, we added items 17 through 26 to that list. And so on the top of the list in green, those were already approved previously by council. The ones 17 through 26 have not been approved, but we've done a straw poll and council seemed to be in favor of it, but we need formal approval of those items if council still desires to move forward with those.
Do I have a motion to approve the 20, I guess we can do it all together, the 26, or do you have to do 17?
I would just reapprove all of them again.
Okay, so you reapprove all of your 17 to 26, either way it works. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve those, the
Okay.
ARPA funded projects as listed.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion? Around the room, Nate?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
what else you got?
Let's see, still working on some of the investigation into the occupancy issues we've been experiencing and some other potential ordinance violations. I did speak with one of the owners up on Granny Smith Drive and then spoke with a construction worker at one of the units that was doing some work there. There had no record of any permits being pulled for that. I contacted Rockingham County and spoke with or talked to the building official. He said he was going to send somebody out, one of his inspectors out to look into that. And he was supposed to send them out yesterday, and I haven't received an update from him yet, so I don't know if they made it out or not. And I think there were some other developments with either with that address or with maybe someone who was at that address. So we're going to continue to work on that as much as time allows. Let's see. Everybody probably knows that there was paving going on around 42. VDOT came in and paved that. It created a little bit of turbulence with truck traffic getting to the facilities. We had no warning, no forewarning of the work that was to be done. I sent a request over to VDOT and asked them if they would give us a heads up, at least several days when before these projects are to start, and then we can publicize it on social media and at least make everybody get the word out that there are going to be some altered traffic patterns that people will have to adjust to. I believe, for the trucks that the first day, it was a Monday, the entire intersection out here was closed off with them doing the work, so the truck traffic had no other option except to go down to use Memorial Park Drive. So that's what they did. I did get a call from the plant manager at Pilgrims, and he said, just to let you know, this is what we're doing, because we don't have any other option.
Yeah, I got a call from a plant manager at Cargill
Okay.
saying, apologizing because they had no choice but to leave that way, so they both contacted us. If you haven't noticed, they're making really good progress, or at least what appears to be really good progress in the new Walgreens store right at the doors up the street here. With that, I've received quite a few inquiries into the current Walgreens property across the street, and also about a 1.2 acre parcel on the east side of the New Market Road entrance to Walmart. And don't have any information as to who it might be, who's interested in the property. Most companies keep it pretty hush-hush, and they hire firms, which is who I've been talking to. They go out and do their due diligence, all the investigation into what goes into getting this done and that done, and if a rezoning needs to occur, or property division, something like that. So I've had calls from California, Ohio, and Pennsylvania from different firms. So there's definitely some buzz going on, which is very positive. We had Valley Automation back in the past couple of weeks. They've been working on some connectivity problems with our SCADA system. Something happened with the SIM cards, the Verizon SIM cards, and they had to order new SIM cards, got those replaced, and everything's back up and running now. We do have orders in for some cable internet connections at some of those sites,
And we're told that when we get those connections, it'll make the connectivity much more stable and reliable. And the final thing I have on my list is that the engineering for the ARPA projects is continuing. So we'll get to, and that's what the mayor mentioned before about when we get to the point where we can bid it out, we'll be able to do that once we have the information from the engineers.
I guess one more thing we can talk about too, the police department remodel, we're moving on that. The air conditioning has already been redone or whatever it is you want to call it. We've received bids on the exterior of the building and we picked a contractor, and it's hopes we'll have the exterior siding and all that done by the end of this fiscal year, end of June. That's the plan. And I think that's about it so far.
And kind of on that same note, I've just started a conversation with Quentin about, it's called PPEA, or Design and Build Regulations, Guidelines. Several towns have adopted that. It makes it much easier to do these projects and kind of solidifies the cost of the project. You don't have change orders going back and forth between architects and engineers and construction companies. So it's something that Quentin and I are going to work on, get some guidelines in place, and probably plagiarize some of the other towns because they all seem kind of standard, and bring it to the council to consider. And maybe it'll help us out on some of these projects when we need to do something of a larger nature.
Well, okay. Any questions for AC, Public Works? It's busy, it's going to get busier for sure. Absolutely. Once we start these projects. Business industry, you just hit on a lot of it, business industry. A lot of interest in town as far as businesses go. We did meet with a local, met with Randy. Andy's at Randy's Hardware. We're pricking his brain about how we can drive some interest towards better utilization of the American Legion Park. He's going to reach out to local businesses and gather some thoughts. And then at some point, we're going to have a meeting with some local businesses to see what we can do with our park to help drive business into town that helps their businesses. So we'll let you know when that meeting is, and maybe people can attend, and they'll help us and we'll help them. We'll figure out how we can bring more people to town to support our local businesses.
And on the parks, one thing I should have put on here was, met with Josh Gooden, he's from Rockingham County, the Director of Tourism for Rockingham County. And the county is taking the revenue that they receive from their transient occupancy tax, and they set up a grant program for the towns. And so we've got some ideas. We'll float them by the council and see what you all think is the best one, and get an application into the county, but it looks like it's going to be about a $50,000 award. So tourism-based projects, we're looking at parks, because parks draw in people, and you might be able to get a good jump on some of the more, some of the major facility improvements or construction that might need to be done. So be on the lookout for that coming out in the next week or so, maybe.
We'll keep on moving. We'll talk about next week or so. Everyone, make sure you have on your schedule. We have a public hearing on Thursday the 19th and Tuesday on the 31st. I think everyone has them on their schedule. Make sure and they're all at 7 o'clock, right?
That's right. We'll send notices or reminders out to everybody.
Okay. Parks and Rec. I think we probably Chris hit on most of Parks and Rec. I think we're on a standstill right now on the improvements. But any questions on Parks and Rec? A lot going on. Chris and them, their people are going to start focusing on the PD for a little while. We'll get that going, and then we'll jump back on parks.
Cecilia went to the Chamber of Commerce meeting yesterday, and they met up at Broadway Park and toured their new pool facility, the new improvements they're doing with their swimming pool. She said that Carrie has requested to have a meeting, one of the meetings down in our park probably sometime in the next several months. So we'll get that lined up, and that way we can showcase what our improvements are and what our plans are with the master plan for the park.
Okay. Anything to add on Parks and Rec? We'll move down to finance. AC, you have award audit contract.
It's pretty simple. Does anybody really have any questions about that? I put the information in that memo, and basically, the auditing firm that we use, have been using for the past however many decades, they gave us notice that they weren't going to be doing municipal audits anymore. And then we received another letter, maybe it was last week, end of last week, whatever, that they are actually closing completely. So we are on the search, we were on the search for a new firm to do our audit, financial and compliance report for the town, which has to be done every year. We sent out requests to 3 different firms that were recommended to us. 2 of them responded. One said that they just didn't have the capacity to take on a new client. So the recommendation, we received proposals from Robinson, Farmer, Cox and Associates, and Brown Edwards. And so the recommendation from staff is to go with Robinson, Farmer, Cox and Associates, and the cost of that it would be at the most $23,000. It's probably going to be closer to $22,000. The proposal from Brown Edwards came in at $33,000. And
What are we currently paying?
$21,000.
Yeah.
It's real close. It's real close to the same as what we're currently charged for, which is nice. The firm that I'm recommending, they do municipal audits for all up and down, especially Shenandoah County, but they probably use the same firm as us, and so now they're going with this firm also. So that's my recommendation. I don't know how many questions I can answer on it, but it's kind of, they do the audit and they have their standards that they have to do the audit by, so everybody kind of does it, you know, it's well regulated.
Is that your recommendation, Melinda? Because you're
Yes.
the one's going to be dealing with this.
At this point, yes.
Okay. So we have a recommendation. Can we have a motion?
I make that motion.
Thank you, Sharon. Do I have a second?
Yeah, a second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll go around the table.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you all.
And as far as finance, that's all our budget stuff's going to be about. So we got plenty of finance coming up to talk about. Personnel, Chief AC, anything on personnel?
Crews are doing a great job as always.
Everyone is.
Yeah, I think Chris might have put in his memo something about having a couple of part-timers that would be out for different reasons, and so we'll make adjustments on that, as we always do.
Okay. Down to the museum, we're going through it quickly. Plains District Museum, Sharon.
Dinner dance was a great success. We had 84 attendees. And our next, and still the, no, forget that. Okay. Our current exhibit is Western Plains District, but our next one is going to be the town of Timberville, and it's very good. June 5th is a program on a Sunday afternoon. Terry Howard from Georgia will be here to speak on black athletes in the valley. And he's excellent. And he's bringing his 12 also. So it's good.
Thank you, Sharon.
So I hope y'all can come.
Bev, you got anything for us?
A little bit, I guess.
A little bit?
On Tuesday, February 10th, 1925, the Broadway boys basketball team played Timberville High School in the auditorium here. The score was 20-18 in favor of Broadway.
What was it, 20 to 18?
Yeah, remember some of them we've gone over as 8-6.
Oh, okay.
But this was a high scoring game.
Okay.
Saturday, February 20, 1926. The picture Martin Luther was showing at the theater in Timberville tonight. A small number of people attended as there was a basketball game at the high school gymnasium. I guess that's what you call competition. Thursday, February 7th, 1924. The singing was held at the Old Folks Home from 7 to 8:30 tonight. The singers and inmates all enjoyed the evening. And they were known as inmates.
They were known as inmates?
Even like that on the census reports, yeah. That's how they were identified. January 22nd, 1904, the Literary Society was formed and given the name Timberville Literary Society. That was the first meeting held on this night. October 6, 1902, school began for this session with 14 scholars in high school. How many is in high school now?
We got more scholars here than in high school.
That's true. December 1884, construction of the covered bridge was completed. The bridge is 320 feet long and a width of 18 feet on the inside. October 15th, 1902, the first 3 rural free delivery mail routes started from Timberville. At 1909, in the month of April, almost 19,000 pieces of mail was carried. June 1948, there were 25 homes under construction in the Driver subdivision. That's between here and the old pool. That's the Driver subdivision back there. And one more thing that I got reminded of, the Timberville school, all school reunion is going to be held again this summer. And so we're having meetings and stuff now, and I think it's October the 13th. I hope that's a Friday. I hope that's a Saturday. Is it 13th?
No, October.
Did I say October?
Yes, you did.
August.
August.
August 13th is a Saturday.
We would have all missed it.
August.
Okay, we're down to other business. Any council folk have anything to bring up? Then we'll open the floor up to the public. Anybody want to come up and have anything to say? Now's the time to do it. Paul, you have something?
Oh, sure. Well, you've already talked about it. It was great to have the streets fixed, but the truckers did have a time.
Oh, I
And
know
we
they
did encounter at least one incident where the truck, I know he was just totally confused. They were going east on Macaulay Drive, and suddenly when they got to First Street, they had to turn left. Well, they didn't know where they were going. And I heard you say that they had to go all the way to Memorial Park, but they really didn't. They could have turned right on 4th Avenue and gone straight to 211 and down to 81, or turned right on 42. They could have made that turn much easier than the one that they made down on Memorial Park, because there wasn't the room to make it. I'd like to see us have some portable signs that we can put out when things like this occur.
On that, all we can do is suggest it to VDOT.
To just have our own little truckers, just an arrow pointing, because it would have really helped us, guys.
VDOT's pretty particular on what they allow, and
Sure.
typically if you're going to put signs and all that up, you have to have a transportation plan that has to be approved by VDOT before you can do anything like that.
A little portable sign in a bucket.
I'm just telling you what.
We're just saying what VDOT, I was saying the wrong thing. We are just saying what VDOT says.
Well, I'm going to a meeting with VDOT next Wednesday. They're coming to a group that we belong to.
Awesome, talk to them.
To talk, yes.
Yeah, definitely talk to them.
Well, it's the I-81 guy, so I don't know.
Send them over here to back to Timberville. Thank you, Paul. Any other public comment? Then, like I said, are we still gonna go in the closed session? So we're gonna have to go into closed session, folks, so we'll wait for everyone to head on out while we go into closed session. Make a motion, sir. You can make the motion first. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, make a motion. The top.
I move we go into closed session pursuant to Code of Virginia Section 2.2-3711A8 for the discussion of specific legal matters.
Okay, do I have a second?
A second.
Roll call vote?
Yes.
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 Awesome. Thank you all for attending.
Mayor, do we have a good contact with VDOT?
Casey can give you our contact if you'd like, yes. We have a contact. Yeah, Casey will send you a contact.
Is it Burgess?
That's who, I contact him and Don tomorrow.
Yeah.
How many of you all went to John Sayre? None? You did? Okay.
Ask them how many have Mrs. Jessup as a teacher.
Yeah, how many went to Frank? But